We are live. Hey! I want to say a very good evening to everyone. I'm here with Jessica. Hey! Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. You're the six of them, Jessica. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Hey! Take it away, Jessica. Go. Here we go again. I go. Da, da, dee, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Africa! Africa! All right. Jessica, we just want to say a very special good evening to all our fans, Cadra and Henry out there, Dalton Williams, big up yourself, Bram Smith, Izine, big up yourself, Delana Roberts, big up, David Williams, all the way from St. Mary, big up. I see Mustafa Badu, big up Everton Chambers, big up to all of you. Today is a very historical day for us here on Facebook Live. Today we're bringing all the way from outer South Africa, Jessica. That's my way of saying it. Jessica. Mbangeni. Welcome to Big Stone Live.
Blessed, my brother. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great honor for me. Big Stone, Flintstone, Rockman, rock my world, Rastaman. Thank you for having me.
Jessica, ever since I met you, we have been on a journey. And it's a very spiritual journey. I know you came to Jamaica because of a book festival with Yasser Safari. And you did something for the Honorable Marcus Garvey in Manchester recently. And then the connection between Big Stone Records and Jessica Mbangeni was magical. everything that we took, every shoot that we made, ladies and gentlemen, were not planned shoot. They were not scripted shoots. They were shoots that was spiritually guided. And I want to say thank you for being that kind of a woman to bring out the best in me as an African living in exile in this country. Welcome to Jamaica. How have you been so far?
My brother, I'm overwhelmed. I am grateful. I'm filled with gratitude to the Almighty, to my great ancestors, and to your great grandfathers and your great grandmothers for giving birth to such a voice of reason, the voice of truth that has brought the best out of me, the authentic voice out of me, and you've brought out the purpose. Our journey has been magical. It has not been my journey alone. I would not have done it alone. No one would have brought this without you, Claude Sinclair.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
And I just want to big up all the others, like Sharon Oshun Chambers. She was magical. God Brown from Firestone Video Production. Eru Aisha Kamusi Menelik, my Jegman teacher. Miguel Lorne, Razzle Dazzle, and all the others that came with us on this phenomenal journey. We have to big up, of course, the Paul Bogle Foundation for inviting you. But we're going to go step by step, ladies and gentlemen, and just kind of give you an highlight of to what and why Jessica is here. Now, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica has been facing a great problem. The crime in Jamaica last year was mind-boggling, 1,618 people. And Jessica is not just an artist. She's a praise poet. She's a seer. She's a spiritual woman, one that can foresee the future, one that can feel the bloodletting. Because wherever we go that there was blood, she cried tears, uncontrollable. So what was it like for you on the morning of Friday the 16th when we went to the shrine of Paul Bogle? What was going through your mind when here is a man that was very rich, he had over 5,000 acres of land, didn't want of anything, but yet still, because of the plight of the people, he went down into the belly of the beast, and of course the rest is history, hence the Mark Bay Rebellion. What was it like standing in front of a giant like Paul Bogle?
It was liberating in my life. Through the standards that we have set, the standards that have been set by the oppression, the standards that have been set by the systems of slavery, the standards that have been set by the apartheid system, the standards that are taking away our lives. Immediately you land into this world, your life changes because you have to be classified with certain level of people. We struggle in our lives to meet the levels, to try to balance the levels and get approval. We have gifts, and through all odds, Paul Bogle had ownership of the land. Paul Bogle was for the people. He was a selfless man. We are not born poor, as the Bible says, and other books that are motivating our death. We are not born to die. We are born to live, and to leave legacy, and actually incarnate through the generations to come. Hence we say there are generations. It's us, we are coming back again. Paul Bogle showed and proved to my life that we are born rich, we are born wealthy, we are born with land, minerals, we are born with people. When we invest in people, invest positively in people, That's where our wealth lies, because it's soulful wealth and it's endless. And Paul Bogle is one of the men who decided to leave his comfort zone and stand for the rights of the people and fight through all odds to protect the Black people, the African people.
I just want to say we have to big up Portmore Zing, Princess Black, Linval Williamson, Michael True, Danet Brissett, Noreen Chambers. Big up Noreen, she's all the way in Cayman. Audrey Williams, Balford Henry, he writes for the Gleaner Company. I also want to big up all the people. If I don't get a chance to call your name, you know you're in my heart. But thank you for tuning in for this early segment with Jessica. Jessica is explaining to us what it felt like to visit now Sam Sharp. Sam Sharp was offered freedom. Here is a man that was self-taught. He taught himself how to read and how to write. And because he taught himself how to read and how to write, the slave colonial masters took him as their favorite, because he was one of them that was responsible for stock taking, adding up how many slaves on the plantation, how many food coming for sale, and so on. So it was very, very important. So what was it like, a man that was offered freedom after he committed murder, and he refused that because he didn't want to live a life of slave?
Sam Sharp is one of the people that have touched my soul, that we are not defined with what we have. We are not defined by the privileges. We should stand for the truth and serve the purpose. And the values of our people, morals and values of our people, are very important in our lives, because we are principled based on the morals and the values of our people. And he was the man of his own people, and he was the man of his word, and he was the man of the voice of reason that spoke through him. I remember the time I was working as a domestic worker. I was pregnant. I got a job as a domestic worker on the second week before I give birth.
Wow.
At that particular time, the situation wanted to define the destiny of my child, because the social worker said to me, you better give this child to us for adoption, because you've got nowhere to stay. You won't be able to look after this child. I stood up and said, one day, my star will shine beyond the horizon. This is just the turning point of my life. Imagine, where would I be without my son? Because the praise poetry gift came true.
Wow.
The gift of life, which is my son. Today, the voice of reason, the authentic voice of the people, the authentic voice of my great ancestors, the voice that carries divinity, comes from a clear conscience, a clear soul that has stood for the cause of the times. At that particular time, it was me, my child, and the social worker that was taking decisions out of me. And she was supreme. She wanted to give me alternative life. And I opted for the difficult way of my life that I didn't know where it was taking me to. Today we've got Samuel Sharps that are sitting down there, unable to make decisions about their lives, their practical lives today. Because if you cannot make a positive decision about your life, you will fall into misery, into soul destruction, and you will be part of the controversy. We are destined for greatness. The reason why Sam Sharp had all the skills, it was because of the gift of life that God has given him. It's the talents. It was not coming from the privileges that he was among. But those privileges and the privilegers wanted to be in control. That means your innovative ideas should be treasured by your own. You should invest in your own. You should nurture your own people so that you are not just one and the only. And if you are the one and the only, use that voice to liberate other people instead of taking advantage of those people. Your destiny is not defined by the obstacles today. Your obstacles they are here to strengthen you so that you can be able to find a backbone within yourself. Your inner being should have a backbone of standing for the truth and just the truth. That's Samuel Sharp, one of our heroes that I have taken the model. When I go back to Africa, I will know whatever stumbling block that comes my way, that I am Samuel Sharp. I am Paul Bugle. They live in my DNA. They live in me. My heroes live in me. I'd rather die for the truth, for the liberation of my people, than dwell in the houses of the slave masters.
Wow. Powerful, powerful. I just want to take time out and big up Dolly Sinclair for joining us. Grace Sinclair, Joe Pastelli. Big up yourself, man, for joining us. It is going to be a beautiful evening. It's going to be a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic evening. Jessica, before we get down into the other things that you've done in Jamaica, give us a little background on you, because you started there and we wanted to know what was it like for a young Jessica growing up in an apartheid country. So you was born under the regime, you was born under the regime of apartheid, and we're asking you, what was it like during that regime as a child growing up?
There was a voice in me that wanted to be part of the struggle. I was born in 1978. As young as I was, but where I lived in East London, in the townships, there were riots left and right. The freedom fighters were fighting the system. I was very young. I think I was around 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But there would be a time in my life whereby I would just stand up and cry and feel like saying something. And I felt like making a huge difference. I felt like standing out there would make a change in people's lives. And my grandmother decided to take me away, to move me from East London in the townships where the riots were, where the freedom fighters were visible. She moved me to the rural areas to hide me away, because she was afraid that I would run away and go to exile, because there was a fighting spirit in me. There was a fighting spirit in me with the things that I would see with my eyes, people tangled with tires, people being bent down, markets being destroyed, the police victimizing the people, their very own. My own uncle was killed by the police.
Wow.
And they came back to my mother and said, tell your mother, which is my grandmother, that we have killed the dog.
Wow.
Those are the things that I wanted to make a difference. The same police were the ones who were victimizing the township, determined young men to sell all sorts of drugs, because my uncle didn't want to go and steal the cars in Johannesburg. They decided to hunt him down because he was the master. He was the mastermind. But he felt that he was being exploited, and he was not even gaining the value of what they were giving him. He was an architect. He would do better, but they were pressurizing him. I tell you, my brother, this voice, I would listen to Peter George. I would listen to Peter George. I would listen to reggae all the time. Reggae gave me hope. Reggae gave me hope. Walking down the rivers with a little baguette as a little girl. The sounds of reggae would always haunt and echo the voice of hope in me. I didn't know about Jamaica. I didn't know about my history. I didn't know. I didn't know. Everything was hidden and is still hidden from us. We do not know. We do not know.
Wow. Powerful, powerful. I want to big up Nigel Daring for joining us, Tony Sinclair, Luan Ruiz, big up yourself. So after the apartheid regime, what was it like for the freedom of one of our freedom fighters, Nelson Mandela? Where were you at that time when Nelson was free?
I was still in junior secondary school in the rural areas. It was a big thing, but everything was hidden from us in the rural areas. We only saw things. We only saw the glitz and glamour in the little black and white TV. We didn't know the reality. And I tell you, we didn't know what has been happening. We didn't know how did he get there. Because the majority of our people are living in the rural areas. And those are the people that are suffering from the genocide. Those are the people that are caged within the rows of education. Education that is not creating jobs for them. Education that is not creating industries for them. But with Cyril Ramaphosa today, the president, who is an entrepreneur, he has endorsed the education that will create industries, self-sustainability for our people. It is something that we've been driving all along. And the great Nelson Mandela's, in all the agreements that we had with the apartheid government, that is, there has been there an entrepreneurship, self-sustainability for the people. But these services, our people are reluctant because they have been oppressed for many years. Yes, even the people who are running the services, giving the services to the people, the directors, the ministers, some of them have been caged within the rows of the apartheid system. It's difficult for them to believe that somebody can be independent. Somebody can think independently. Somebody can be innovative without a book that is guiding or a standard that is guiding. Hence, today we have in South Africa a campaign for free education. Actually, free the education. Free the system. Because we need to be ourselves. We need to be relevant to what is relevant amongst ourselves, our environment. We need to learn with our own languages, indigenous languages, so that we understand. Actually, we understand. What is it that we have? The value of our commodities and the value of the commodity, of the human capital that we are as the people. So this democracy is taking its own course because we have a certain way, a diplomatic way of getting out of it. Yes. It's not overnight. The apartheid system overthrown is not overnight. It's on paper that it's over. But now we have a responsibility as the citizens to liberate, emancipate our souls, our spirit, our minds, and our bodies. Imagine in South Africa today, the genocide of many years that has come to revelation in me around 2008.
Yes.
The genocide of cold meats, the genocide of cooked food, tin stuff and everything that has been manifesting through the health deterioration of the young people, affording people. And you would see that the superstars, people who have money, the future of the country would just die young, immature deaths. Our grandmothers, their ages would just deteriorate, and people just say it's an age. Who is born to die? Who is born to deteriorate? Just like that.
Powerful, powerful.
Now we have discovered recently they have been taken down the products, polony cheese and all these things, all these cold meats that we don't know where have they been cooked and when and all that. And guess what? In my house since 2008, I don't have a refrigerator.
Oh, you put that out?
I don't have that. And I teach my children, I tell them, when I give you money, on the day I give you money. All the time I buy them fruit. I tell them, if you want a sandwich, let me make you a vegetarian sandwich. It's good for you. As much as, mostly as we live in big cities, there's a lot of GMO products, even on vegetables and fruit. But it's better than the worst chemicals that are on the cold meat products. Today, they are off the shelf in South Africa.
And we should get them off the shelf here in Jamaica, too. We just want to big up all my friends for stopping by. Paul General, big up yourself. St. Michael Ewers, big up yourself. Nigel Daring, I see you there. Tony Sinclair, Janet Brissett, David Williams from the Humanity Divine all the way in St. Mary. A lot of people are tuning in and giving you thumbs up because South Africa and Jamaica is like identical. It was Jamaica in 1957, headed by a Norman Manley, that instrumented the first embargo, or the first boycott against the apartheid, the wicked apartheid system. So Jamaica was the first to lead the way in the fight against the wickedness that was happening to our people. And now we are experiencing wickedness here in Jamaica. And that is why Jessica Mbangeni has been instrumental in coming to Jamaica, in going to all these places that we're going to be talking about. A matter of fact, I want to let you feel what it was like when we went to Nanny of the Maroon. Just listen. This is Jessica Mbangeni at the grave of Nanny of the Maroon, ladies and gentlemen. Turn it up. Fire. The big one. I just want you to listen, ladies and gentlemen, what it was like when Jessica Mbangeni, all the way from South Africa, went to Portland, Moortown in Portland, and visit the shrine of the great female warrior, Nanny of the Maroons. This is it.
Kukukazi esimaphiko-phiko laba elibanzi lokuphalazela amanzi odandatheko emini ezazinzima. Zalikazi siyakubonga, Zalikazi siyakukhahlela, siyakubhotisa. Namhla ikhaya iAfrika linebhongo neqhayiya ngawe. Mbokodo egrayikra ixole kusilwe kudidiyelwe kuhluze kuselwe kuhluthwe. Namhla siyangqunqa, siyabhiyoza, sibhiyozela amakhosikazi abemile owini madikizela Mandela. Namhlanje bama phezu kwamagxa akho, amagxa abanzi, amagxa uphalazela amanzi odandatheko. Oh, today we feel that you are standing on the shoulders of the giant, because because you have paved the way. Siyabulela Gokhakazi, siyabulela Khawekazi. Oh, siyabulela Nozala, Zalikazi, siyakubulela. Sithankosi ngokuphinda ufikelele ezazeleni zethu ukuze namhlanje sizikhumbule ukuba singobani. Ndiwamela amakhosikazi eAfrika, ndiwamela amakhosikazi oMzantsi Afrika, ndiwamela amakhosikazi esizwe ngokubanzi. Sithi bayethe nani of the morons, of the maroons, nani of the maroons, nani of the maroons. Ingoma yakho uyawuculwa kwizizwe zonke. Your name is written down there on the mighty Drakensberg, Pasco Kashamba. None of the maroons. I hear the echo of your voice. From the orange river that rises from the Lesotho mountains and travel across the desert to the west. None of the maroons. On Cape Agalhas, where two mighty oceans meet, your spirit leaves. We will always remember you. The memory is our heritage. It helps us to preserve our cultural integrity, sustain our heritage intelligence, and maintain our traditional protocols. Phila ngwena phakade kumkanikazi. Phila ngwena phakade Khawekazi. Sohlala sikukhumbula ngemisebenzi emihle kangaka. Ubusibonisile amandla nobunganga esinawo. Wawoyisa amakoloniali, wabayisa belungu, wabayisa abacinezeli, wabayisa ababesichitha besinhlokothisa. Namhlanje igama lakho limilile. We are those, none of the maroons today. Your legacy is on.
Wow, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was what it was like when Jessica paid a visit to the actual grave, not a monument. This is the actual burial site that was not paved with concrete, the natural earth, and there were grass and other weeds growing up from the grave. And it was a beautiful spiritual gathering. What was it like for you standing where a woman who was from Africa, a petite woman from Africa who was brought here as a free person and enslaved and then fought the British long and hard that they had to surrender. A woman make them surrender. What do you feel? I know you must be elated to know that a woman had so much strength and power.
At that moment, I felt the spirit of Nani incarnating through me. I reflected from her journey, from being the leader of the military, from being a strategist, for earning so much respect from his people. It spoke to me that we as women, we have it in us. We as women, we just need to understand it, actually overstand it. We as women, we are the guiders. We are not just women, but we are gifted human beings. I felt the spirit of Nani. It just began to be a module in my life. I just began to see my life as a book. the model of development of women's leadership should be written. Just to know that the camouflage that is all over the world, that the big military, the big militaries are having ownership, that has never even credited the power of women and the power of a woman whose brains behind. My brother,
powerful.
We have been the brains behind the victories. We are brains behind of the current victories. And those victories need to be recognized. And women should stand up and join hands.
Wow. Well, I couldn't say any better, because Nani was really one of my idols. Nani is somebody that I really look up to as a woman, seeing the work that she put in Jamaica. We're just gonna play one of Jessica's songs, ladies and gentlemen, so you can also get a feel of not just Jessica, the praise poet, but Jessica, the artist. So this is from her album Iguli.
Yes, Iguli.
Tell us about the song Africa.
Africa is a tribute to all the African heroes,
yes,
including Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
At the time, I didn't know about the heroes like Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey. I was hungry. I was hungry to give the tribute to my heroes and heroines. So therefore, this is the piece that I've done. With all the knowledge that I have now, I'm telling you, I'll be writing another song. So people should just enjoy this tribute to the African heroes and heroines.
Wow. All right, well, here it goes. I love it. I love it. You can sing along if you want to.
And this is the poem, like a song that is given. I was giving
Africa no sala Africa no sala wa mzonzundu. Africa no sala wa mlisana no mtinza na we Africa. Sipiki ni sikalana singeti sepusa pusa. Sisenso no sapusa. Yangu shinto mbenguru ya kama ngaumane yalantula. Akutunza lama petamba bibisha masinyo pute papa mekalu pale. Wasuga wapepeta. Ebe kute kuna shegi sama lopo nyam. Wata wila. Shimbo yako kupeya. Ebe kutofa. Ebe kunyatela. Ebe kubisanjai kanto. Sipsama mnyama koko. Masimata. Sama kumleyo. Atunyisa kukuzinga. Nembo wala ma Afrika. Unigema Afrika didi hoto. Kenga inyana kwa ya kuminali nyaniso. Nenzo delelo ya kutinusi solwe Afrika. Kumagana kulomsha banala majachiko ni kene silipere. Inga simla ya sige na kudi hai. Kamena kutila makwapini zenkapa sama kalaka. Kumegani sinton kili na nisinton kama kumegani makwetili na makiasa na We have uphold the dignity and the stature of the African child in the entire universe. You brought back freedom and democracy to the African continent.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we were watching Jessica, we see all the arts going up. Thank you very much. That's a great song. And she was telling me about the history behind the song. Tell our fans out there the history behind the song.
This song is the flowers that I was giving it to Utata. Nelson Mandela would call him Utata. Whilst he was still alive, thanking him for the sacrifices he have made, thanking him for diplomacy, for listening to all the leaders like Pan-Africanist leader Robert Sobukwe. And Nelson Mandela was very close, and he believed in the philosophy of the great Robert Sobukwe. And I thanked him for listening to the diplomacy of the women like Lillian Ngoyi, the grassroots women who were powerful enough to be part of the revolution. Abo Albertina Sisulu, Abo Adelaide Tambo, the wife of the great Oliver Reginald Tambo, who mobilized all over the world the support for the demolishing of the apartheid system in South Africa. So this is one of a kind in South Africa, because I wrote this poem at the times people were writing about trees and flowers. But I felt that I should write about my soul, myself, me, as Jessica Mbangeni, as the citizen of my country, acknowledging the sacrifices our people have made. Great leaders like Nelson Mandela, Abo Raymond Mhlaba, Abo Steve Biko, who's also a Black consciousness leader in South Africa, who's respected a lot as a Pan-Africanist. I remember when I was shooting this video, you will see at the end when it was raining. It was literally raining, and that was the time. It was difficult for Dada. He was giving up. He was giving up. He was surrendering to be with us on earth, but to live with us in spirit. And each and every step that I took in my life, I always had a connection with Utata. And before he even passed away, I was adopted by one of his daughter-in-laws, who is Mandla Mandela's mother, Unolusapo. She is now Queen Mother Nolusapo. I didn't know the greatness that Chief Mandla Mandela was coming from. Mama would tell me that this is Mandla Mandela, the grandchild of Utata. It would be unbelievable to me that I would be close to such a greatness in my life.
Yeah.
And when he was being honed according to the kingdom, because they are from the royal family, I would do praises. And at the time I was young, I would stagger around about within this greatness, and I would be overwhelmed. But I stayed there to be the daughter in that family. Now, when they see me, they recognize me as the daughter of the family, as one of the Mandelas. Now, recently, he had a child's naming ceremony. I had to be there. And I'm the first woman to speak around the crawl. In the royal family of Abatembu. That is a very big thing. But I'm so glad that this divinity is recognized divinity at home through all the patriarchy systems. But the divinity defines the roles that are supposed to be played, and give the blessing to the child. Now the child is called Mandela Kamandela. So is Mandela. The child's name is Mandela. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, but his great-grandchild is Mandela Kamandela. So the leader is born, and I was so excited and privileged and honored to hold the baby and give the blessings right in around the crawl of the royal kingdom of Abatembu. That's where you will go.
Wow.
Your visit in South Africa will also be sentimental, just like the one that you have taken me through. So you have paved your own way. So you won't be sitting and in the hotels and there.
No, I want to go and see where I'm
looking at the sea. There is sea all over the place.
Work to be done.
Yeah,
Connection
with your greatness.
I just want to take this time out and big up Myrna Sue. She's Guyanese. Big up yourself, Myrna. I see my friend Ellie Mulan. I see Ayan Sinclair. I see Ike's Progress, Misha. Big up yourself. I see Dennis Marco, Mugambi Brown. Big up yourself. I guess you better say something to your fellow Africans, because there are Africans tuning in and I don't know how to say hello. Can you imagine?
Molweni, Dumelang, Sanbonani, Lochani Minjani. Greetings in the name of Africa, my beginning, Africa, my ending. I'm with my brother here, the Rastaman. Oh, it's so good to be here. And thank you so much for joining us. It's you are bringing positive vibrations. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are more we're going to talk to Jessica about, but we have to speak on when we took her to Pinnacle. And it was very spiritual when we took her to the fortress of Rastafari. We took her to where a gentleman, a very rich black man again in the 1930s, Leonard P. Howell, bought this piece of land. And when I say a piece of land, we're talking about over 700 acres of land. I don't know what went wrong, but it's down to about 7 acres of land. Something went wrong. The land was taken and divided up, and the Rastafarian community is only left with 7 acres. Ellen, she said, hello, Jessica. I know you're listening, Mulan. Pick up yourself, Ellie Mulan. So I'm going to play for you, ladies and gentlemen, a little piece of excerpt. And I want you to share this with your friend. You can share it to a friend, to a friend, to a friend, because Jessica is here for a little bit. This is where we were when we took Jessica to Pinnacle. And she was speaking to the Rastafarian community. Rastafari. If you want to see the video, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to YouTube, go to Claude Sinclair, and all the videos are there. everything that we did with Jessica, we did not keep it to ourselves. We shared it with you. So this is what it was like.
The wealth of our continent. Let us remember where we come from. Let us remember our divinity, the ownership of who we are. Africa is everywhere in the world. Let us remember the words of Haile Selassie I, telling us, teaching us that we should resolve our issues in Jamaica before we cross back the Caribbean Sea to Africa.
What's the one?
Let us remember to unite Africa. Only the united Africa can be able to bring the African unity. The united Africa is about the united Africans. But if we are Africans, we are not Africa. We can. That means all the generations can. But let us be the Africa that we are. Africa is united. Africa is full of love. Africa has got no color. Africa is humane. The Africa that we are.
Africa.
The blood of those who have walked the way before us, who have fought for the liberation of who we are today. Those who have fought for our rights on our commodities. Let us all remember that is our heritage. It's not part of us, it's who we are. Heritage is equal to inheritance. Therefore, we are the ones today that the whole generations in the whole world need to inherit from us. We need to write as the writings of the Greeks that we have learned from. We need to document. We need to share the information, share the heritage, share the soul of Africa, the truth to our children and amongst ourselves. Let us unite so that this blood can always speak for us, can always speak around us, can always speak amongst us, can always breathe the truth amongst us. The color that we were discriminated against.
That the world has discriminated against. Yeah.
But the world is what it is today. Atuzisa ujamaka sithatha ingqongqolo kwaMbheki. Inhlamini egwele yokhakha ilongo kuviya kwaMadiba. Umalala ejongile emhlaca amagusha kwimilonje ekhaya. Elanqanqadi limaxhaka-xhakela xhuma amaxhoba. Lamaxhoba ngentshutshena ngomncuma emfazweni atshadile izishumi lamadoda. We are the ones who have made it possible for the world to trade in gold, in diamonds, and the food our stomachs still yearn. Today, the world is Africa.
Yes, sir.
The wealth of our land is in the hands of those of these who are still given a chance to live. Let's take ownership. Let's stand for what we know. Let's stand for what we believe in. Let's stand for what belongs to us. And let's stand for what is ours. We need no food, but water. The fruit from the trees, from the natural trees of our fertile land. The natural vegetation from the land of our great ancestors. Remember, we still owe our being to the koi and the sand, whose desolate souls haunt the great, expansive, beautiful Cape. They who were the first to lose their lives in the struggle defending our freedom and identity. They who were the victims of the worst merciless genocide our native land has ever seen. They who, as the people, perished in the result. Today, we still keep inaudible and audible silence about these ancestors of the great generations that leave. Fearful to admit the horror of the former deed, and that's still happening in our lives. Seeking to obliterate from a memory a cruel occurrence, which, in its remembering, should teach us. Let's take care of our Let's take care of our land issues. Let us bring back African unity. The land belongs to us. The land belongs to Africa. Where there's a drop of blood of an African, where there's a drop of the soul of an African, that land belongs to us. That land is a land because of us.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Jeridan, big up yourself, man. Blessing my Lord and hail Sister Jessica. Jeridan is all the way in Grenada. So he's saying big up. My friend, Robert White, Starrett White, big up yourself. Big up. Louis Rose, Maroon Warriors, big up. Jessica, people are just tuning in now just to get a little piece of you. So that was Jessica actually at Pinnacle, the Art of Rastafari, where Rastafari started in Jamaica. It was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
It was the most beautiful day.
Yes.
And I enjoyed the food.
Oh, she enjoyed the food.
Organic food at the end. Well, the part that the great ancestors revealed to me is that when we talk about the ownership,
yes,
we are talking about not just literally ownership of the land, but the brand, the mindset, we should not be the victims of the African perspectives. Our heroes have fought the struggle of the land and its commodities. We have been made the consumers of our own products, of our own intellectual property, in everything. We should not allow that in ganja. We say no on being the puppets of our land and its commodities. We should not be principled according to the oppressional laws that are taking all the hype, following up on ourselves. Absolutely no. We need to take ownership and not be the followers of our own heritage. Absolutely.
I agree with you 100%. That means what Jessica is actually saying, that, you know, Rastafarians have been locked up, scarred, brutalized, even killed for ganja. And now that they're kind of loosening the grip on ganja, we would only hope that the people who actually suffered and pay the consequences by being locked behind bars for a plant that is grown wild. I mean, we can only hope that we take control of our money and let the money stays with the true people. That is exactly what she's saying. Today, a friend of mine celebrates his birthday. His name is Robert White, but we call him Starrett White. Me and him go way back when I was a police officer, and he used to play trumpet in the Jamaica Constabulary Force band. This brother was a saxophonist, a saxophone player. So he's online and he's celebrating his birthday today. So we just want to salute you, Starrett White, on your birthday.
Minamnandi kuwe, minamnandi kuwe, minamnandi kuwe, minamnandi kuwe.
English. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Big up, Starrett White. Big up. Happy birthday, my brother. My brother Jerry Dan said, I can feel her powers. So Jerry Dan, all the way in Grenada, is saying he's feeling your powers. The Empress look righteously beautiful in her colorship. Up spirituality warrior. Claude Sinclair, don't stop the fight. I and I are with you. Thank you very much, my brother. Wilfred Johnson said, Jamaica got a taste of her people speaking to the ancestors. Greatness, Mama Jessica. Big up, Big Stone. More love. Thank you very much. Keep asking any question you want to ask of Jessica, and she can answer it. Please type it in, and we'll read it to you. We want you to communicate with us. We want you to share as we go along, so a lot of people who are not friends on my page can get a little taste of Jessica. Jessica, your album, Iguli. All right, I'm going to play a song from her album, and she's going to sing along with us. The video is on YouTube, so
I'll sing and dance.
She's sing and dance. This is it.
Nakuma madinu kubevuti kuchani siwa soshubela bandwana kala kululula bandwana. Umkata mtana titamacha chuka waskati biko waskati chukula makyota. Kama salombe za dinzini kapa kwa za kikuza za ichana zinkani Kamanyala, 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 Ikolibiteni nale, Salamundana, Ikolibiteni nale, Salamundana, Ikolibiteni nale, Salamundana, Ikolibiteni bagati, Salamundana. Kamanyala, 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 Tundi Pachelu Mologas, and the Pachelu Kutele, Tundi Pachelu Mologas, and the Pachelu no more Tulu. Tundi Pachelu Mologas, and the Pachelu Kutele, Tundi Pachelu Mologas, and the Pachelu no more Tulu. Kamanyala, Kamanyala, no yo. Kamanyala, Kamanyala, yo. Kamanyala, yo. Kamanyala, Shamanya, Tulu. Kamanyala, Shamanya, yo. Kamanya, Tulu. Kumokoma, Kosha, Gale, Oblom, Shama, Inina. Mahamana, that's a careful Pusinina. Kanina enemy sasa yo. Hey, Miami Nyanya, you know soko wetu. This is not just soko to say so it's not na komora yini na matota. Oh, baya kumuntu. Saya wisasela. Chika kukile, jonyanyile, adilale di parla lenya wayinyana di kamusero. Imuya! Kamanyala, 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 Tundi Patelu Mologas, Tundi Patelu Muzele Kunzubanda. Tundi Patelu Mologas, Tundi Patelu Mobopetulu. Tundi Patelu Mologas, Tundi Patelu Muzele Kunzubanda. Tundi Patelu Mologas, Tundi Patelu Mobopetulu. Kamanyala, 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 Shusho, Kamanyala, Kamanyala, yo, Kamanyala, Shusho, Kamanyala, Kamanyala, yo, Kamanyala, Shusho, Tawayiga manyale kolu, tawayiga manyale khauja.
Oh, give her a big round of applause. Let me see them on. Let me see them on for Jessica. Let me see the on. Jessica, wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. That's the song about Joburg, because we always have our children when they go to big cities, forgetting our customs and traditions. So this is about a young man who forgot the character or the kind of a woman he should have brought home as a wife, as umakoti wetu, our daughter-in-law, because she has to go through, if you can see the video, she has to go through some customs and traditional activities that are welcoming her, introducing her to our great ancestors at home. Therefore, she has to eat a certain piece of meat from a goat.
Oh, really?
Yes. She has to drink. It's either umqomboti, which is an African beer.
Okay.
Yes. And she has to dress up with a certain, what you call, a cloth on the head, a scarf, and she has to wear differently. as umakoti wekhaya. So you find these youngsters wouldn't like that. They want to wear a skimpy, stomach out, low cut. Kwabani, in my house, absolutely and oh. Absolutely and oh, can't do that.
Wow. The people are just Ellie Mulan said, sing, Jessica, please sing.
Yeah, man.
And other people out there saying that it's nice. Derridan is saying Jamaica is truly blessed to have been visited by you, Mama Africa.
Yeah, man.
So it is an honor. This is my favorite. We played this song at the beginning. And Jessica wasn't warmed up yet. Right? Because when she geared this song, this is like, I want you to tell us a little bit about this song, Jessica, before we start playing. It's on the album, right? Give us a little insight on this song before we go with it. Talk to us about the song.
Which one?
Number 10.
Number 10. Number 10. Wow, that song says smaller fish, saying greetings, stranger. In our village, where we grew up from, we are very far away from the oceans, and we can only see the fish very seldomly in the river, but mostly the fish is coming from the oceans. That's where we get the fish. Okay. So when you are a stranger, we say, hello, fish. So
if you call somebody a fish in Jamaica, that means
they're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. A fish in Jamaica,
So we have in our Xhosa language, we don't speak literally something that has got meaning. So we speak like that. But the most important thing, this song says, greetings, my African brother, my African sister. Thank you so much for discovering your beauty, your pride of being African. Wow. Even the children, when they see you, they are going to celebrate. We are going to celebrate. Greetings, and then we greet in different languages like Bota, Tumela, Sawubona.
All right, here we go. This is not it. Where is the song? Where is the song? Here it is now. Woo! This is it.
Yeah, baby. We are.
No, Jessica. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
Jessica, you need to have a drink now, Jessica.
Yeah, man.
We need to cool down a little bit. We're getting hot up here. I see Maureen Gosmo there just jumping in. I see my sister Karen Sinclair, big up yourself. I see Kareen Berry, big up yourself. I see Glennis Forbes,
Yeah, man.
big up yourself. I see Charles Earl, David Bullock, Maureen Walters, all the way from Germany. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Woo. Cheers.
Cheers, my brother. Cheers to everyone.
This comes from Patrick Kwame Romance.
Yeah, man.
This is the good juice. Pineapple juice. We wish you all was here. It has been a beautiful experience. Sister Jessica.
My brother.
Now we're going to take you on another journey, ladies and gentlemen.
Back to Africa.
When Sister Jessica came to Jamaica and she heard about the spilling and the bloodletting, and our people are dying every day as we speak. And I told her about a particular cave in Seminamore. Seminamore, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go to my YouTube channel and I want you to follow my sister, my Empress Jessica, on this journey, this phenomenal journey that she came to Jamaica and the ancestors have joined us together to be on. I'm going to give you a little piece of what happened at Seminamore If you want to watch the videos, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to YouTube. My name is Claude Sinclair. Type in my name, and then you shall type in Jamaica, we shall rise. Jessica Mbangeni said, Jamaica, all the bloodletting, the wanton killing of women and children must come to an end. And I took Jessica into these realms where our ancestors was brought to this country over 400 years ago and let loose in this island. So I just want you to tune in and listen a little piece of Jessica.
Just that the human existence itself demanded freedom as a necessary condition for human existence. Oh, Pumlani Matambo, Pumlani Matambo, Pumlani Matambo, Nila Nugutula, Itagati Sinsana Zenu, Nisamgele Kasingenile, Glum Shabo said Jamaica. Oh, my God, it is your yenu. Oh, Kukugani Matamba Matalam Tanyama, Tavumlani Zinkonja ze Africa, Vulana Mazibuko, so that your children can flourish. Vulana Mazibuko, so that your children can be those heroes and heroines that you are. We honor you. We salute you. We honor you. We honor your sacrifices. We honor your love, resilience. We honor your steadfast love. We honor your patriotic love. You are divine. You are divine. You are divine. You are divine. Siti magbe kosi. Siti magbe. Siti magde tubunyama. Magvelu kukanya. Siti magbe kosi. This is the rope of peace and unity for all those 8,000 who have fallen, who have fought until the end, for those who stood for the cause of the times, for those who have brought us to be where we are today. You are standing on the shoulders of the giants. Africa is the hub of liberation. We salute them.
Black power. Africa.
Patron of unity.
Freedom for Africa. Freedom for my country, Jamaica.
Siyabulela ngegalelo lakho. Olomsila. Siyabulela. Namhlanje siyakwazi ukuvula imilomo. Siyabulela Steve Biko. Siyabulela. 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 Siyabulela maqhawe. Siyabulela. Ngile ubuhlungu maqhawe. Ngile imthuthise maqhawe.
Africa.
Nivile indlela obukhoboka maqhawe. Naluwela imilambo ebumnyameni. But today, we break that boundary. We've come to see you. We've come to reconnect with you. We've come to instill peace and recognize your heroic deeds.
This door of see me now, see me no more is the door of all the streams from all over the world. They will come and honor you. They will come and bow down before you. Mini anakhawula imiqokelelwano yengcinezelo nentuthiso. Siyabulela kuwe. Yazi ngobani nathina ngaphandle kwenu. Namhla sinengqambu. Ngoba siyayazi lapho sisuka khona. Sinekamva. Ngoba siyazazi lapho sisuka khona. Maqhawe. Siyabulela. Sithi mazene thola. Insana namhlanje esezizingwe. Thina siyachothoza ungena kulo mnyango. Mina nani nilahlelwa inhlokothiswa.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jessica Mbangeni entering the slave dungeons of Seminole. I see Emmanuel Bernard just joining us. I see my friend Owen Reynolds, Maurice Bledsoe. Big up yourself. Jerry Dan said he can feel the energy of the ancestors vibrating through you, Jessica. What were your thoughts? Explain to them. What was it like to be where your ancestors and mine, who left the shores of Africa forcefully, they took us by force from our country and they brought us to this island and put us in this box made of concrete. What was it like for you to stand there? I know it felt like holy ground, but explain. What was it like, Jessica?
For me, my journey of life has just come right before me like a book.
Wow.
I felt the powers of our ancestors. I felt the powers of possessiveness because our very own people were the ones who have sold our great ancestors to the oppressors. I felt and I heard the cry. I felt the heavy load. I felt the responsibility that I had to come and pay the libations. I had to come and talk to them on behalf of those who did those deeds of evil by selling the blood of our own brothers and sisters, our own mothers, our own fathers, the babies. The voice came through me saying to me, even those infants who arrived as children, today they are the great ancestors. There are no children no more. We need to salute them. And they need to find a place. I had to usher them towards their rightful place of rest so that they can be at ease. I had to recognize them. When we are talking about the slaves, when the books are talking about the slaves, they are talking about the people who are not supposed to be people, the people who are not even people. I had to speak a word. I had to bring reference of their incarnated spirit, the spirit that has incarnated through the young Steve Bantu Biko of the black consciousness, through the spirit of the young Robert Mali, through the great minds of Pislika Seme, Ingwampele Madingwane, the heroes who were assassinated at the young age because the spirit of our great ancestors at Seminomo was rushing and incarnating through them. The system couldn't tolerate their powerful voice and decided to cut them short because there was no slavery in chain. There were no slave chains anymore. They were broken. But there was a mental slavery that they were fighting. So that it should not spread and our people should be aware of it. So when I went through those dungeons, I had to apologize to our great ancestors for not paying the respect that we should pay as a collective, as the African continent, as the world at large, because the world is what is today because of those who have been enslaved, those who have made it to be a better place to live in, and those our great ancestors at Seminomo, those ancestors who traveled from all the shores of the African continent, from Cape Town, South Africa, from Madagascar, from Senegal, from Ghana, from all the parts of the East and West Africa. It's our responsibility to come as the streams to rivers and pay our respect and reconnect so that even our children all over the world can have a better side of the world, because their spirits will give direction. Those were the honorable men. Those were honorable women. That need a place in our hearts, that need a place in our minds, that need a place in the books of life. We need to pay the respect they deserve. We need to pay the respect they deserve. We need to pay the respect they deserve in order for us to bloom, in order for us to become the change we want to see, in order for our children today could have direction, in order for the universe to light up towards our own greatness. Let us all come to these dungeons. Let us all come to these dungeons. The nations benefited. The nations began to have life through the hard labor, the blood, through the tears of our very own brothers and sisters, of our foreparents, of our forefathers, of our foremothers. Let us all come from all over the world and pay the respect that they deserve in order for us to have global peace. Lizali City Galako Chikonko Siye Yaniso So Gitlangasu Izis Sindiso Amadolo Iliswe Akakobepa Bikwako Zitiso Kilimi Zilukenutu Bolwako Ezipiti Tizetu Yonakele Mihlaba Ungaitobi Boyako Luzalufu Sapolwako Alango Sisi Gaideli Imfundiso ze Zwilako Uze usivu Sele Sive Inyangisa
Africa. My sister. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I want to pick up my friend Memphis Noble. Big up yourself, man. Jerry Dan, Amanda Lacour, Donovan Smith. I want to big you up, man. But this is indeed a very sad moment for us because we remember when we went to Simi No More the slave dungeons of Seminole. And we saw that this place that was made of stone had no roof. There were just little air vents on the side you cannot escape through. And it was close to a river, and the river runs right into the ocean. And when myself and Jessica just look at this hideous, monstrous place that they took our ancestors from Africa, we who are kings and queens, they have reduced us to slaves. And we say never again, never, as long as I live and as long as Jessica lives, we will continue to fight and fight and fight till we educate. We educate our people, whether through song, through praise poetry, or through the powers of our voice. We will never give up, because the Jews lost 6 million, but we have lost over 600 million. And we say never. Rastafari said never again. Make them try that. Jessica, there's this song that you did, Africa, right? And I know you're a little teed up, but now would be the right moment for you to perform this song for your fans out there. And we're going to stand up while we perform this song, a tribute to our ancestors.
Am I doing the back track?
Yes, I'm doing the track.
The back track?
I got it.
You're doing the track or the back
Yeah,
track?
the track, the back track. Stand up.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Africa no salaba ma Africa. Africa no salaba msontundu. Africa no salaba mlisala no mchinja na we Africa. Sifiki nisikale mnazinge sisakusakusa. Sisanzo no sakusa. Yangi shito bekulu ya kama gaumane ya latula. Aputuza la mapetanga bipita masi ya kute papa ma. Ekalu mpali. Wasula wa pepeta. Ebe kunu kushabla shagi sama dogonye. Watu waila shimbo ya kumokoya. Ebe kutofa. Nakunyatela. Nakunisangenda dosi mshama mnyama mshama koko. Masima shitaza masima kumleo. Akunisongo kusita. Epoko la ma-Afrika. Kunike ma-Afrika diti ujo. Ekwenye meko ya kumnani nyaniso. Nenzo ndelele ya kutinusi zolwe Afrika. Kumakala kula mshima na lamanya chuko litele slippery. Ikasika ya spige na kuti hai. Kamele khubuti la makhwabili zekapa sa makalanga. Kugakani skandina ni sitokasi. Nisa ni mchoma nuchikoisha kulu ikuparuka nukhakha kukrika. Wabagala kuna pati krika tapcholi. Wabuna kuprafya tutkala mtutweni. Ela pana mkilazo nezo makoboka. Inami keke baba kule mama ilili. Ama chini chini ama chembela machenjo. Walidanda Nelson Mandela. Sitimaya. Tagwa ni swala sulu. Mbangeni, Osipiko, Robert Samukwe, Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, Robert Wamali. Them upheld the dignity and the stature of the African child in their entire uniqueness. You brought back freedom and democracy into the African continent. Today we affirm that we are Africa.
Africa.
I just listen to understanding from whatever begging. I am an African. I am an African. The human presence among us these. The feature on the face of our native land that's defined. I know none dare can challenge me when I say I am an African. I am an African. Dirham.
Give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Jessica was simply awesome. Simply awesome. Simply awesome.
Thank you, my brother.
I see Sonia Sinclair saying, bless up, Jessica. I see Sonia Sinclair saying, bless up. This song is so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Every time it comes, as a matter of fact, the first time I heard my sister Jessica performed this song, it was at Irie FM last year. And I want to let all of you know that the Honorable Marcus Garvey taught me how to use the power of my mind. And he said, anything that you can visualize, anything that you can envision, it can become a reality. And ladies and gentlemen, it was my dream to sit beside Jessica. And guess what? The Honorable Marcus Garvey was right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yes.
Jessica, you have been loved by everyone, everywhere you go. Today, ladies and gentlemen, that video is not up yet, but we took my sister, Jessica, and we took her to the Coronation Market. And what was your experience? Tell the people what it was like, Jessica, when you went into the Coronation Market, the bread basket of Jamaica.
A huge market in Jamaica in my life.
Get some more drinks for her, please.
I've never seen such in my life. Such produce, fresh produce. And guess what? I got my favorite fruit. It's custard apple.
Custard apple.
And the soursop.
She got the soursop.
And I've got organic mangoes. The love at the market. I was like, oh my goodness. I felt like the hugs, tight hugs, love. People couldn't hold themselves. Had so much connection. I felt like, oh my goodness, that's why Michael Jackson and them had to have bodyguards. I was like, oh, spirit, please be my bodyguard, please be my bodyguard. But our spirit is the spirit of wisdom.
Yeah.
I didn't fall down.
You know what is that? Hold that up to the camera. Hold it up to the camera. You know what is this? What is this, Patrick?
It's an eggplant.
It is known as an eggplant, but it's not an egg.
I thought you were asking them.
Anybody know? Yeah.
This is my favorite. This is the eggplant. It's organic,
Okay.
and when I eat it, it feels like meat.
Okay, really?
Yes.
What they call this in Africa?
Yes, it's eggplant, baby.
Eggplant in South Africa?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, when I was doing agriculture at home, I never came across the eggplant. I only came across the eggplant when I'm older and I don't know which Nkosa, which word is it. But I enjoy it. I love it a lot.
The next fruit you gotta show them?
Custard apple. You must taste this. It's a pudding. It feels like chocolate. I've never seen a fruit like that. My goodness. I'm taking the seeds. I'm telling you, I need to have trees of this in Africa. I tell you, come in Jamaica, everybody
you'll
get the pudding right in the fruit. So the pudding is in the tree.
Yeah.
It's not in the tasting, baby. It's in the tree.
Okay. And they know about this?
Yeah, man. Broccoli. I got the broccoli. This is my favorite, even in my house.
Yes.
This is the best that you'll have, that I'll always have in my plate.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Where's
Where's my soursop?
Yeah,
my soursop.
the soursop.
Eat
your heart out.
It's ready to use now. You're going to put it in the freezer when you go up.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's
put it in the freezer when you go up. Because it's ready to use. You can use it tomorrow morning.
I'm going to use it tonight, my friend.
Tonight?
I don't play games. I need my dessert. It's a weekend. So this is my weekend dessert. Soursop. It's the best. Mix it with.
Give it the yellow one there. The yellow one.
Custard apple.
Yeah.
With the custard apple, my dearest.
Okay. Give her the papa now.
The pawpaw. Organic. It's they say what you call us this
papaya.
No. I want the saying. They say dynamites come into small packages, baby. See how small they are. They're very sweet and they are full. They are filling up. So my dearest, come to Jamaica and get everything organic. You know what I'm saying? From the coronation market, hard workers, young people, women that I came across in there. I bought my stuff. I didn't ask for it. I didn't get donations. Absolutely, no. I support black. I buy black, baby. You know.
This is for the table. This is for the table.
Give it to us. Eat your heart out. Marine, I know you're watching this. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart out. My sister Kess, I know you're watching this. Memphis Noble, you said big up Mighty Zulu, Momo, Warrioress. Jessica.
Yeah, man.
Memphis Noble is in love with you and your work. Memphis Noble.
Thank you, Memphis Noble. Look at my fresh lettuce. I bought it from a young boy.
Little boy.
A little boy. And I told him that he had only 2. I asked him how many was he left with. He said he's only left with 1 and he was still standing. I said, go and sell this one. You'll sell it within a half a minute.
Wow.
And he hesitated. And other vendors told him that go and just sell this. Go and sell it. You'll sell it within a half a minute. And guess what? He sold it within a half a minute.
Wow.
So that is the power of the mind, the power of the tongue. We should be affirming greatness. We should be affirming positivity. Otherwise, somebody else would say, are you telling me that you are going to wait until such time you sell this one? And that says to you, he won't sell it and he would be discouraged and opt for other things that are negative. So we need to encourage our communities, encourage our children. They are still innocent. They've got innocence in them. So we need to motivate that innocence, that power, that energy. It's the energy that our greatness needs, our divinity needs, so that we can become just divine. You know what I'm saying?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have spoken to Jessica about a number of things, but this subject that we're about to touch on, I want my brother Eru Aishaka Musa Menelik to have this segment because, as you know, Eru is a Garveyite, 110%, and Eru will kind of discuss with Sister Empress Jessica about the trading the economical trades that you have planned to collaborate. But Eru, better you come and say, Eru, you're much more. This is my Jegna, ladies and gentlemen. Eru Aisha Musa Menelik is gonna take you on to the next segment. Don't touch that. Yeah.
Welcome, my brother.
Greetings. Blessings. Good to be here again in your presence. As you know, the vision of the Honorable Marcus Garvey through the Black Star Line shipping fleet that he brought into being in 1920, that Africa should trade with all Africans over the world. And us in the Caribbean, we have always carried that vision to trade with Africa. And one of the things that I heard about, that there was no Akis in South Africa.
Absolutely no. I've never seen Aki. It's my first time to see it here.
Yes.
And breadfruit as well.
Breadfruit also. And sorrel.
I haven't seen it.
Sorrel, right. So we are saying it is so good that there are things that we have that you don't have, that we can trade with you and develop that vision of Mr. Garvey that we should be trading amongst ourselves. Because one of the things that we must do, we must be able to feed ourselves. That is one of the foundation principles of life, that you should feed yourself. Never depend on food from someone else. So if it is the family, we get our food through our family chain. And this is so good to know that there is no Aki there. There's so
much that needs a feasibility study based on the food, based on actually the commodities.
Very much so. I tell you.
Detailed commodities. We can talk about having a business forum that can work on that at least for a period of 5 years.
Yes.
Because there is so much that we have that we don't believe that is food.
Yes. One thing I remember, the South African High Commission put on a display of South African wines. This was a couple years ago. And we didn't know that such great wines were made in South Africa. Usually people associate wine with France or maybe California.
We do have bubbly, we do have farms and farmers who want to work and jointly with black people, because farms in South Africa, 98%, 99% of the vineyards are owned by the white people. You know that land that is in Cape Town that used to belong to the Khoi and the San.
Yes.
Yes. And so.
And you know, this is something that we have to, in a political way, we have to address it, because we are saying, and if we trace history, the land is land for the Africans.
Yes.
Yes. And these invaders, if they come in, and we would have to say they captured the land illegally, they use might over right. So in a political way, we have to, just as how political power was transferred from the minority to the majority, we have to now address land acquisition. We have too many Africans living marginalized while the affluent whites enjoy the best of the best.
In South Africa right now, the government with current presidency, the ANC government is addressing the issue of land, and the land is going to be redistributed to its owners without any compensation, because we are taking back the land the way it was taken from us.
Of course.
So the mindset, we need to work on a model of development or shift of changing the people's mindset of knowing the value of the land and the value of the stomach.
Very much so.
Because the stomach, in order for us to preserve our DNA as the people, we need to stay away from the GMO products. When you've got the land,
Could you say that again? We need to.
We need to stay away from the GMO products because it's changing.
Listeners out there, this is so true.
It's changing our DNA. It's diluting
Of
us.
course.
It's changing our culture. It's changing the inheritance, our characters. It's
Very much
changing
so.
our love, and the love of being African.
Yes.
So it's we are in that journey, and I would like to work with you because you have a very good understanding of the importance of the food.
Very much so.
And what is it that is food? Maybe we can even rename the food as something else, because what we always believe is food will be mostly GMO products, and then we name the vegetables and the fruit by its name. So our bodies do not need food. Our bodies need water, natural water from our wells and springs, from our rivers. Our bodies need our herbs from the original herbs from our land, from our fertile soil.
One of our brothers, he has passed, Dr. Sabi. He had put out a list of foods that he labeled as electric food that is essential to the African body, because he said the polar bear does not eat the same food as the lion. So there are certain foods that are there specifically for a certain type of body. And when we look at the African body, we know there's an enzyme in our body that gives us the melanin, tyrosinase, which is lacking in the bodies of the white people. So there is certain physiological differences in our makeup. That means we should be eating different foods that is geared to us as a people. And one of the things that I see, even the Rastafari, they developed intuitively a diet that they said ital. They did not use seasoning, salt, and all these powders to flavor the food. They used the natural seasoning, the escallion, the thyme, the pepper, all the natural ingredients. And they were labeled as mad people because the establishment said, for you to cook, you need these ingredients to cook. And most of our restaurants cook that way.
And devastating recipes.
Yes.
That it's just another cycle of another life that you don't know who owns. If someone begins to own, because the cycle will divert you to go to hospitals, to clinics.
Of course.
Now you're to have what you call burial society.
Very
now
much so.
You live to die. You never even have a thought of investing your money because your investment is in death. And with the food that you are eating every day, you become addicted. And miserable that you are not yourself anymore.
Very much
and
so.
Your vision, it gets deteriorated, and you tend to be more critical of people's ideas instead of what you call a critical thought
Yes.
of how innovative things could be done.
Very much so.
So you become a bitter person. So we really need to work together and
Very
try
much so.
to conduct this feasibility study, jointly develop models of development.
Well, one of the good things we have done, we have made a first step that we have reached out to the South African High Commission and schedule a meeting. Hopefully we can have that meeting which would start the whole process. Yes, that we could look at what agendas we can put in place, explore the different foods and areas that we can collaborate on.
Yeah, it's something that is there. It's on the missions internationally. Well, we are going to have a look at it, and the relevant people whose ears will hear it, because when they talk about food, they say food security.
Yes.
But we need to wise up
Very much
how
so.
we strategize. We cannot show our weapons to the enemy.
Not at all.
Yes,
Not
but
at all.
the most important thing is giving people a great sense of awareness. What are you eating? Where does it come from? And where do you see yourself in this changing world? Or you want to be the agent of change, or you want to be a victim of change. Therefore, I say to the people, a sense of awareness. You know how you feel, and you listen to your soul. The soul will tell your mind, and will never deceive you. So we need to balance ourselves and let the change happen in our lives, in our homes, in our children. We must teach our children. We must show them the way. We must lead by example. We must live holistic life. We must search for it, acquire it, live it, breathe it. Then we will become the change that we want to see.
Very much so. Very much so. There's a motivational speaker that taught me this, and I've always kept it very close.
Yeah.
It goes like this: if I keep on doing what I have always done, I will always get what I've always got. So you need to change, do things differently, or else you'll constantly have the same results. And even speaking on food, you notice the amount of cancers, diabetes, hypertension, all of this comes from the type of food that we have been eating, the type of, and what they call the Western diet. The Western diet has always been one that have basically have the carcinogenic material that you end up getting cancer. And it is, well, as they say, cancer is big business, because once you have cancer and you go on the drug, it's thousands of dollars. And when you realize that these pharmaceutical companies are making trillions of dollars because of the poor choices in how we eat. So this is something very important, that we have to change our eating habits. As they say, get back to Mother Nature. Be, as you use the GMO, non-genetically modified foods. We have to move away from them. And even the seeds, I noticed some of the seeds that after you plant these seeds and the fruits are generated, some of the fruits don't have any seeds. So you cannot have, you have to go back to this company that sells you the seeds. There's a company now that wants to take out a patent on seeds.
And you ask
How
yourself,
ridiculous.
what were you eating?
Yes.
Something that had no seeds.
Yes.
They even write them seedless. And our families mostly, they say, it's easy to eat. How do you eat something that has got no seeds?
No
That means
seeds.
you might be eating a human being also.
And you know something? Nature is such great, Mother Nature. In the seeds, many of the seeds that are there is the answer to cancer. In most of the seeds, there's an element, an enzyme in it known as nitrilocyde. Nitrilocyde is a natural killer for cancer. Natural killer for cancer. Okay. Well, the whole concept of trading, as I said, started with the Honorable Marcus Garvey creating the Black Star Line Shipping Company. And out of that company, he said he would trade with Africa. So both traveling to Africa and trading with Africa. Now, one of the first steps to trade with Africa is to find out what they need and what they have to offer us.
It has to be sustainable, as I've said, that we need a feasibility study that will focus on certain commodities and commodities whose policies we can be able, that they're in the process of change, so that we can put pressure, because when you find something that people need, you are able to put pressure for the change of policies.
Very much so.
And you need to put numbers in place. You need to be sure of sustainability. Because when we talk about trading with Africa now, Jamaica and and Africa, we are still talking about it. There are no commodities in place that we say, okay, let's sit down now. This is what we have. This is what we have.
Yes.
Tangibly so, without the agreements. Agreements, it's a paper agreement, but are the people in need of that?
Yes.
Have you sat down with the people? An intensive feasibility study, going to the bringing together the communities.
Yes. Well,
so
that's
that
the first step.
Say yes.
The first step.
That's the first step.
Yes.
That needs to be taken.
One of the things that I'm looking at also, we have no direct flight from Jamaica to Africa. And I took it upon myself to call an airline, Fly Jamaica. And I asked them, how long would it take a flight non-stop from Jamaica to touch on the shores of Africa? And he said a non-stop flight from Jamaica would take 10.5 hours. It's just about the same time that would take you from Jamaica to London. So instead of, in the past, if we were going to Africa, we had to go to Africa through London or through America. So now we are looking on a direct flight, leaving the shores of Jamaica and going straight to Africa.
It's also the flights will need to do the intensive research, because it doesn't only bring people, and they don't make more money on bringing people, but on the cargo.
Yes.
The cargo. So we are still going back to the feasibility study of the commodities that are needed in the island and the commodities that are needed in Africa. So to balance all the, otherwise the opportunities are there. There are a lot of partners who want to come on board and open it up, open that that route, but you need to come with numbers and the proof of what people need.
Definitely so.
And also businesses. People can be in need, but the businesses that are interested in investing, and also the support of the government, because everything now today it's not only about the grassroots. There has to be security. There has to be monitoring.
Yes.
So we have to balance all these things. There has to be military. There has to be protection.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Because now you are challenging a system that you are taking a bread from somebody's mouth.
Yes.
The bread that was going around circling out of your path. So it will be coming straight to you. So you need the balance systems
Yes.
And we can
well,
talk about this offline so that we can talk to the relevant people. Because when Marcus Garvey brought it on board, the reason why it was challenged, it's all because of being communicated with people that do not have a muscle for it.
Yes.
So all the time, the economic changing challenge needs to be communicated with the strategists and the visionaries,
Yes. Yes.
the revocrats. So you
Definitely
need
so.
that team. You need unity, unity in the grassroots, unity of the organizations, unity of from the industry to education.
Yes.
Because
yes.
the young children should understand the importance of trade, transport, tourism.
Of course.
So we have communities, vulnerable communities that have nothing to do. We need to start empowering them. We need to put pressure by having more of the products that are needed in Africa and the products that are needed in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
So it's a multi-pronged approach. It seems to be direct, but it's a multi-pronged approach that needs everyone.
Of course.
And everyone
should
is
be on
who is
board.
in the island right now is an African. When we develop the grassroots on that approach, because there's no way that the Chinese in the island will say no to that, because they will benefit as well.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So, my brother, I'm so glad to have met you.
Yes.
And,
yes. Same here.
We need to consider the heritage, preservation.
Well, the heritage, and especially today, when we were in the market, one of the ladies looked at the beads and was so impressed with it that she said she's fascinated. How do you do it? So that's another form of cultural exchange that we could have, that the South Africans should come and teach our people how to knit these beads and get it so colorful. So that's another trading area, culture. And also the language. We need to be able to speak the language. That is part of our identity that had been taken away, forcibly taken away.
Artist residency, there's a big whole lot of development that needs to be done.
Yes. Well, as they say, the longest journey begins with the first step. And I hope that we have made that first step in making that connection with Africa to the Jamaica, and seeing that we are one people, as the Honorable Marcus Garvey always shouted in his motto of the UNIA. One God, one aim, one destiny. Africa for all of us. So it is something that we always have to keep going on. We cannot drop, as they would say, drop the ball. It is now in our court, and we will have to ensure the continuity of our people through the re-identification of our people and the rededication of our mission. Just as how the Jews have the bar mitzvah at age 12, they tell the children their mission in life. We must develop African rites of passage for our children, that at age 12, they know what they are supposed to do, what is expected of them as an African, to ensure and cement their African identity.
Thank you, my brother.
It was great speaking with you, and I know it will continue until we have overcome, as the great American Martin Luther King had said, we shall overcome someday. I think we are in that process.
We are, definitely. Thank you, my brother.
Blessing.
Blessed.
Well, you don't know, we have to close off this segment now with my sister Jessica. Right? Wow. I know you all must have had a wonderful time, right? I see Princess Black, I see My friend Little Lenny, big up yourself, Little Lenny. Janet Roach, big up yourself. Collie Buds, Marine Walters, big up yourself. Damien Jazzy Johnson, big up yourself. I see Terry Gordon, big up yourself. I see Jack Cotter. Jack Cotter is a big artist all the way in Canada. So we have a lot of people where I see Canada, I see Jamaica. You remember this big sound that said, Chi, she got to go in the Mbangeni. Chi, my really. That's Little Lenny, my friend. Matter of fact, Little Lenny will be coming on soon, and very soon. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, you don't know, Jessica's been very exhausted. She's been up since, what time you get up? Early this morning.
I got up at 4.
She got up at 4 o'clock this morning, and everybody's sending you hearts. You see the hearts lighting up on the side of the thumbs up? That's when they love you and appreciate you, okay? We're going to go out, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to ask my sister Jessica to stand. And, of course, we're going to play my favorite song. And I'm going to ask all my friends to join me and set. And we're going to dance to this song. And we're going to close out. It was nice having you for this Saturday, March 10th. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank Marine Walters all the way from Germany. Thank you for tuning in. Memphis Noble, thank you very much for tuning in. Nigel Little Lenny Grandison, big up Calabuds. Damien DJ Jazzy Johnson, big up. Terry Gordon, Janet Brissett. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I just want to big you guys up, and I want to say enough love. What you want to say in your native tongue to your fellow friends for watching?
Ndibhodla nje madoda ndihluthibele amagubevu. Ndibhodla nje kaloku ndikhule ngokundivumayo. Ndibhodla ndimdala kudideka ingwevu nongwevukazi zibindo lokuxaka kudideka isixaxa. Zingcamlisela nomthinjana wezola kwethu.
All right. Jessica's going to stand up now. We're going to remove these chairs. Be careful over here. I want you to move this chair right here. This one goes over here. Put this over here. And we're going to move this one right here, my sister.
Oh.
My sister. Don't worry. It works sometime like that. Back up a little bit, Jessica. And we're going to move this chair out of here. Everyone, come on board. The Psalm says, come on board. Of course, you don't know. I have to play this one and start it out to the end. But before we play this one, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to close this segment with the Psalms. Of course, the Psalm says is here. And we just want to close this one. Stand right there. You can put the, yeah, okay. You can come. Yeah, stand right here. Bless it.
Psalm 133. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for us to dwell together in love and unity. It's like that precious ointment upon the head that went down upon the ear. Even Aaron's beard went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of earth, and that the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High has commanded his blessings, even life forever. Jah
Rastafari. Rastafari. Here we go now.
Please, my brother, please.
Here we go now, ladies and gentlemen. This is not it. This is not it. I fool you. I fool you. But this is it. And we're closing out with one of the biggest songs. What's the name of the song, Jessica?
Motherfish.
Motherfish. I love you. We close it out. Africa.
Oh, la, la. Huh? Say Chigaland. Say Chigaland.
African music. Yeah, yeah. Africa! Africa! Africa, our beginning.
Africa, my ending.
Ja! Rastafari! Ja! Rastafari! Ja! Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fun-filled over 2 hours with Jessica. Thank my co-host, Aru Aisha Kamusa Menelik. We want changes in this beautiful country. We love this beautiful country from the depths of our heart. And we want Jamaica to change for the better. And that is why we take this time to bring praise poet Jessica Mbangeni all the way from South Africa for you tonight. I hope you enjoy this. And of course, Jessica will have the final words.
I can only say Jamaica, 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 the land we love. Oh, we love Jamaica.
Yes, the father.
Loving it.
Me come back. Me
come back.
Loving it.
That's the father. Thank you very much for watching. And we love you.